ℏ𝐻𝐵𝒃. Howdy friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kat. I hope you're doing super duper lovely today. So, things have not gone quite as planned for me. It's very on brand. So you will notice that there is no video last week, and probably a little bit late this week too. Whenever this is coming out, as quick as I could get it out. But my Twisted Tales Part 5, the final video, ended up getting deleted by the good grace of fate and the stupidity of Apple. Anyways, today we're gonna do another Concussion Chronicles because I feel the need to get some things off of my chest. Also, look how cute my nails are. So spacey. I believe we left off where I was like finishing that spring semester of 2020. I think it was after spring break and I was stuck home for COVID then. It was at that point I was home. Eventually, you know, the summer started and I was like, oh beautiful. Time for me to rest. Time for me to recuperate. And in this time off in the summer, I actually did end up getting better. I still had a really hard time with sound for the longest time, and I didn't have a great tolerance to exercise or motion, and I would still get very dizzy, but I definitely got better. At this point, I still had not sought therapy, even though I was repeatedly told to seek counseling by the initial doctor who diagnosed me with concussion, my primary practitioner, my first neurologist, and my second. Literally everyone. So anyways, we're gonna fast forward to the beginning of fall 2020 semester. This is where it starts to get a little spicy again. I decided to take a full course load again. I thought that even though I wasn't completely better, I was so much better after that summer, and I thought that a full course load would finally be doable, especially since this semester was going to be entirely at home start to finish. And so I was like, wow, perfect. I can be at home and rest and get better, but also learn and grow. I very quickly realized that all my classes were like blocked together, so there wasn't really a good way to rest in between. I'm so nauseous. Very quickly, the full course schedule started to wear on me. I wasn't doing well in Zoom classes. I had a really hard time paying attention and keeping my focus. And I also was just getting like incredible eye strain. Also just like brain strain. Just from like reading, trying to comprehend things on my computer. So not too long into the semester, I realized that it's in order for me to succeed this semester whatsoever, I would need to drop a class. So I did so. I was down to, I think, 16 hours. So I'm not gonna go into super great detail with this semester because basically it was a repeat of the spring semester. I was not quite ready to return to school with my singing. I was missing so many lessons because I was just never really quite well enough to sing. And if you remember in the last video, I was talking about how it would like hurt and resonate in certain really painful areas in my head and actually cause migraines. Me and my voice teacher both noticed that I was learning not so healthy habits in order to compensate for I had so much strain and the lack of, what is a word? I'm trying to think so hard. So the rest of that semester is really difficult for me. It's funny, each time I thought I had a low point, there's a new one. Always is. That's what I mean, it could always be worse. It could be worse from here. But after just a horrendously and honestly slightly traumatizing semester, just in the sense of how much anxiety and pain, like I was just in pain all the time and could never really find time to get anything done, and that would like really spike my anxiety like crazy. So I was just extremely unhappy. I think that I knew I had to consider taking some more time off because issues that didn't resolve themselves previously were not just gonna resolve themselves with time, because time just kept passing and I felt the same. So a little bit of fast forward through the holidays. Shortly before Valentine's Day, I have a really nasty, stinky, smelly breakup. I think the day after I had my first seizure. This is what I meant by saying the plot thickens. I don't know why I'm still affected in all these ways. I don't know why my brain injury is like an onion. You keep peeling back stanky flippin'. Why am I itchy? Frickin' layers. Yeah.
Smelly onion.
And so since then, I think I've had like probably a dozen seizures. My first one, I just kind of like dropped. I kind of just went blank. My mom said she saw my face go blank and I dropped to my knees and then fell backwards from there. So, you know, like a real good stretch. And I just kind of like blacked out. What I do remember is afterwards I asked who I was and where I was, which never a good question for someone to ask. But I was fine shortly afterwards, and I figured I've had a long history with like fainting spells and like passing out and feeling ill in that sense. And so I just thought it was like related to that. And then the second one was a little bit scarier. Ever since I started having seizures, the amount has increased. See, I had like one, and then like a week later I had another, and that was bigger. Not even a week later I started to have another one, and then sometimes there would be like one or two a day. There's definitely days that I don't have them, but they're a little too frequent for comfort for someone who's never had them before. Oh, but anyways, second seizure. I had just gotten up off the couch. I was gonna go fill my water bottle, hydrate. I started to feel myself like losing my vision, and the dizziness set in, like I was going to pass out or maybe faint. And so I kind of throw myself against the kitchen table and brace myself so I don't like fall, because the worst thing that I could do is hit my head again. No, thank you. And I remember my body kind of locked, my neck like jerked back, and then I was just like shaking, like convulsing, like really violently. Although I don't think it's like something that is seen very easily. It's like I feel the convulsions in my body, but they're not like super visible, like I'm shimmying. The reason why I think that is because my mom has seen me twice, but she didn't realize it. And then yesterday I had a very large seizure in which my mom actually caught me and like held me up on my waist.
And she said that
The shakes were like violent, even though they were, you know, they're really hard to explain. It's like an earthquake, but from within. So weird. And then you kind of forget where you are. You lose consciousness for a little bit. So we were exploring the possibility of epilepsy. You know, there's a few fan theories going on about
what exactly has happened to me.
So initially I was like, okay, concussion, post-concussive syndrome.
Sure.
And then I was like, oh, I think it was probably like chronic migraines that were onset by the fall. Then my roommate, who I take her word as she's practically a doctor. She doesn't have her medical license, but I'd let her operate on me. She came up with this really interesting theory that my body, like, because I was sick when I fell initially, I was concussed on top of like getting over an illness. So my body forgot what homeostasis was like and still doesn't remember. So it's kind of just caught in this trying to heal, but it learned to be in pain, something like that. I'm so fuzzy right now. I don't feel amazing, but I don't. It's been scary. After it happens, I'm like, was that one? I think it was. It's like I forget it happens right afterwards. And the fact that they've been happening more and more has been scary, especially when I'm supposed to be going back to school in the fall, which is all I want. I want to go back to LA. I want to be immersed in school and music again. But why is it just one thing after another with me? I'm tired. This has been over a year that I've been home, over a year that I've had this injury be affecting me. I have a stabbing migraine right now. I had an EEG, just a 40-minute one, and that came back clear. I also had an MRI that came back clear. So we don't know what's going on. You know, it's not good to speculate. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. Let's not diagnose me. Let's just chat about theories, what's happening, and then be sad together. It's hard to be sad when you're dressed This is such a mood booster, you have no idea. Long story short, I like never feel well. I get exhausted very, very easily. Seizures lately, migraines almost every day, if not every day. Some of them last more than one day. Dizzy, nauseous. I did just get put on a seizure medication, but that also is making me really tired and dizzy and a little nauseous. Anyways, stay positive. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Concussion Chronicles Part 3. If there's another part, it's gonna be a very, very recent update. So we shall see. But I do almost daily content on TikTok, including this look, a little Winnie the Pooh look that I just did, and also a little I do stuff down there all the time. My Instagram. Maybe subscribe, maybe like this video, maybe comment. Maybe tell me how you're feeling today. How are you? I hope you're so good. My brain is non-existent. Subscribe and click the notification bell for there will be only one video a week from now on because my health has to come first. It's been a long journey to realize I have a long history of putting other people first. Anyways, I appreciate you. Toodles! When do I receive the title as Strawberry Shortcake? Like, how do I go about making that official? Let me know. Goodbye.